Morning and welcome. This is Whatzup on Galaxy Television. Now, people really need to understand that even though you are genuinely sorry, you still need to pay the consequences for your actions. These are some of the speeches we do have to give to people sometimes. You just come in and say, I'm sorry, I'm this, I'm that. No. The consequences after you've misbehaved is something you should go for. A lot of people look at me and say, hey, you're very petty. When you do something to me that hurts me and you say, you know what you've done and you keep at it. I'd like to show you a few instances to show that, yes, what you did, I could also do it too. But sometimes it doesn't really pay. Now, every day above 6 feet is a very good day. So when you wake up in the morning, don't just feel entitled. Go down on your knees and say prayer to God, because it's not easy. A whole lot of people wish they could be in your stead right now, be counted amongst the living. A very rich man on his deathbed said something, and it resonated with me. He said, now, I've worn all the biggest shoes in this life. I've driven the best and most expensive cars. I've bought the most costliest of houses, and yet I'm on this bed and cancer has me, and there's nothing that can cure me. Some of you don't know how to be thankful. Olamide Bado says, and I quote, if money is your only problem, you should be able to thank God you have no problem at all. That's what it is. Today is the 5th day of May, and we're super excited to be in the studios this morning. This is Whatzup again, and we are live. I'm going to tell you something, all right? The month of May is a month that resonates with good tidings, fun, entertainment, gist, vibes, doings, and all that. That's what Whatzup is all about. So if you're tuned in for the first time and you're tuned into Galaxy TV, you're like, what's this show all about? Who's this guy that's stuck into you on the screen now? I'll tell you what Whatzup is all about. It's a show that runs Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And it's the show that transcends between fun, vibes, education, information, entertainment, and of course, all-round sweetness. We also bring adventure to the fore. And first out, we do movie reviews. All right, this is when new movies are out at the box office, cinemas, Netflix, Prime, Hulu. All right, BET Plus, HBO, whatever. We got you guys covered. We also give synopses, and then we give snippets of it. So we say, we give, ratings from 1 to 10, usually. But we'll tell you about these movies. We'll give you the plot. We'll give you the theme. We'll give you the actors, the crew, everyone that's, on it, the executive producers, and then we'll tell you to go watch and enjoy yourself. Also, we do red carpet events. This is what we go for, what we call fashion and style. This is what we go for events, and, we'll tell you who won what's how styled them, how dapper they are looking now. If you want to be a part of that and wear the same thing the couture has to offer, then we also give references as well, and then also remarks from 1 to 10. We also have trending issues and celebrity gist. This is towards the end of the show when we have when we talk about all things entertainment and talk about what's happening in the lives of all the celebrities, or most of them, that we can lay our hands on, and then we'll talk about what's going on in their life. For example, over the weekend, a whole lot of stuff happened. Tiwa Savage was in the news for saying Nigerian men are not romantic enough. We're going to talk about that during the celebrity gist today. It's going to be wow. Also, the icing on the cake is when we have guest A-list celebrities coming to the studio to tell you about their life's work, their journey, just like the one we have in the studios this very morning. But before we make introductions, I just want to tell you that today marks the beginning of your life. If you've ever fallen down 9 times, get up 10. And that's what makes you a man or a living soul. Anyway, I want to say a big happy birthday to someone who means the world to me. My brother, my friend, my blood. His name is Chase. Chase Lavish. Oluwaloni Chase Wachiku. God bless you from the bottom of my heart. You know I love you, bro. Every day, everything you do just brings me happiness. Now, there was a day, the last time, there's this supermarket on Ago called Super Saver, and then opposite it, there's this event center, and then I Chase, and at that time, it was Betty who invited us for a wedding. So we went there for the wedding, and then Chase usually he lives somewhere in Agor, so he parked in the compound of Super Saver, and they told the security guards, "I'm just over here, all right. I'll be back. I'm just going for a wedding." And they were just telling like, "Okay now," and we left. When we came back, they had punctured our tire or deflated it. I'm sorry to say this on air. We beat Shaggy. Those security guards will never forget me and Chase. It got to a point, I saw 3 very slim looking people trying to carry me, and I was like, what are 3 of you trying to do? I held to their leg under my arms like this, and I was it was really funny because I didn't know what to do, and then without told Betty, like, I called, like, babe, how far? We'll be fight for here, oh. And she came out from the wedding venue. This thing I'm telling you was like 8 p.m. in the night with the bottle, like, where the day? You know, let's good time. So Chase, only one only Chase. Wachiko, I call you Wachiko, you know now, Chase. Mazi, God bless you now, God bless you forever and for always. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, I'll be introducing my guest, A-list celebrity, and of course, telling you who I am. So don't go far, don't go anywhere. Take us away. Welcome back to the show. Before we go on, I want to shout, this is Whatzup on Galaxy Television. So get ready to enjoy yourself. A big happy birthday shout out to MC Papi Chulo Shimala, Promise from Adigbe She Crown. And of course, Orally, on behalf of Whatzup on Galaxy Television, I want to say we love you so much. Have a very beautiful and splendid birthday today, my brother. God bless you. MC Papi Chulo, God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to present, talk about, talk with, have a conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen this man. He has emceed a whole lot of events in Lagos State, Nigeria that you guys are privy of. His voiceovers are everywhere as well. And when it comes to entertainment, being a celebrity event compare, nobody does it better. Ain't nobody better than. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Wale Sage. I'm not going to call him Wale. Wale K. We're posh over here. Hello. Wale. Welcome to the welcome to the video, my brother. How you doing now? I'm not in the business of killing people. I don't kill people. How far?
I'm good, boss.
What's going on?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yes, welcome to the studios. This is Whatzup on Galaxy Television. Your fans have been saying, when are you bringing Wale here? When? I say people should calm down. We've not calculated how much we are giving to him first for it to. The man is not in the country. We are flying him down. And all those. Then when I finally told them that you were coming through and all that, we were so excited. So welcome again to the studios. God bless you for coming through.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Quickly before we go on, I'd like to say, or talk about very few things about the man himself. Now, when you talk about someone who's been doing this, you know that, yes, we're so excited that he's here. But first, Wale is, he was born at Deleke, Wale Simon. That Deleke, the sound one kind of OBU people. At Deleke, aka the Talk King, with over 8 years of experience in MCing. Wale Sage, aka the Talk King, has cemented his position as a dynamic and charismatic host, from corporate events to weddings, birthday parties, and of course burials. He brings a unique blend of philosophy-driven wit and infectious energy to every occasion. Passionate about entertainment and culture, Wale Sage is known for his spontaneous style, which has captivated audiences across various settings. He did kickstart his career with a notable gig in 2018, hosting an event for a renowned event planner, Babashola Olusoga, famously known as the King of Events and Ashobi Planner Extraordinaire. Since then, Wale has gone on to host high-profile events, series of those, including the 5th birthday party, celebration of Tuopama International alongside his mentor, comedian Ta, and the 60th anniversary of the Faculty of Dental Sciences, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, with a proven track record, and just about many more. With a proven track record of delivering memorable experiences, Wale Sage continues to excel in his craft. When he's not hosting, he's sharing his love for music and sports on his podcast. Now, his area of expertise, main areas are emceeing, event hosting, entertainment, culture, music, and sports. And his style is energetic and a galactic, spontaneous, and engaging. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, want to say a big thank you, Wale, for coming through. And it brings us to the very few questions we're going to start asking you from the beginning. You're known as the Talk King.
Okay.
What was that one mic drop moment that made you say, yeah, I was born for this stage? What did you realize after just one performance and it became clear to you that this was what you were supposed to do?
I think it was one event I had at Ikeja, Marriott Hotel. So it was a similar experience with what Skid Bombs had, where there was no sound. And they said the government came around. They said they couldn't have any sound for that day. In fact, they were looking out to change the venue. But mine was a little bit scarier because there was sound, but it's not ours. So the organizers had, I think, had some kind of miscommunication. So they thought they would be able to use the DJ of Marriott and the mic of that DJ. So that was the plan. I was going there thinking I'll be using the DJ's mic and I'll be using his sound. So the DJ made us understand, yes, I'll play music for you guys, but you can't have my mic. And you can't control when to stop the sound. Long story short, I had to scream to organize that event. And it was for, I don't know if I should mention the name now, but it was for a big organization.
Wow.
So we had leaders of industry on seat, and I had to make sure I still carried everyone along. So after that, they all had to take my number, and they were like, no, this guy will. Someone from Sterling Bank came and was like, really? You did that? And I was like, yes, I did. It's my job. So after that, I knew, yes, this is it. This is it.
All right, that's a very beautiful one. Now, the ability to be very versatile in your area of expertise is something that a whole lot of you who are venturing into entertainment, music, sports, and a whole lot cannot identify with, because when they say do this, okay, I need the mic. Can you walk without the mic? Can you do your stuff without people looking at you? That's something a whole lot of you do not resonate with. And this is what this man is all about. Now, moving on, you've hosted several events, from weddings to burials, birthday parties. Now, in all this time, what's the wildest or most unforgettable thing that's ever happened to you while holding the mic, apart from this one you just said?
Well, yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Okay, it was the 50th birthday party of Tuo Palmer. I don't know if you're in the catering world, you will know who Tuo Palmer is. Tuo Palmer, Bonex, she's the official caterer for Macadamia, and she's also the official caterer for Shadi Okoya. So she's big, she's a big deal. So on stage, while I was performing, my shoe came off. So I had to stylishly, without anybody knowing, still performing, I had to just call on the DJ to play music while everyone was dancing, then went backstage. It was one of the DJ's boy that had super glue that I used right there and then and put it back together and went back to the stage. And the funniest part, it was a Gucci shoe. It was a fucking Gucci shoe. It was crazy. It was crazy. So that I can't forget that one.
Oh my God.
It was in Ikeja here. I think is it Start Plus? No, not Start Plus. One of the big halls here in Ikeja. I can't remember. But that was funny. It was
yeah, that definitely cracked us up. Very hilarious. Now, from hosting Babashola Olusoga to sharing the stage with Comedian Tar, how did you go from zero to an events pro?
Okay, let me quickly say something about the final part, which is sharing the stage with it's actually TA. So
all right.
It's TA. TA is someone that I've really looked up to for a long time, and so it was this same event I just talked about. So he was supposed to be the main MC for that event. So somehow he had other events that was clashing. So, but he told the celebrant on time that, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what we're going to do, but I'll be there. So can we have someone as backup? So I was the backup. So when I got there, luckily for me, he didn't come on time. So I was already performing. So when he came, he just said, you're doing well. Go on. And that was another beautiful experience. So let's go back to the beginning of the question. It's not been easy. It's not been easy. You just have to make sure that you're focused. Is very, very important because there are sometimes you feel like giving up. That's the truth of
True.
it. Because being an MC is just like every entrepreneur endeavor. You just have to be the one to always push yourself up and make sure that even when it's not going your way, your passion is there to strive. So I always tell upcoming MCs and even entrepreneurs in general, you must be resilient. So I will just use the word. I don't want to go about saying "na good" like most people always like to say. There's a lot of hard work that's needed, and most importantly, is being resilient. So it's being resilient all the way.
All right, walk us through your emceeing process. How do you prepare for an event meticulously? Because this is something that people don't get to talk about a lot. Some people are naturally gifted, but at some point, I still feel like you need to practice because it's often said that practice makes perfect. Some people do not prepare, they just get on stage and they kill it. While some have a process. Now, for someone like me, before I became an MC, talk show host, on-air personality, public figure, media mogul and all that, I knew I was meant for this, but every day for almost a year, when I wake up in the morning, I would sit on my toilet seat and I would rehearse my lines. I would make sure that I was okay, whether I was doing number one or number two, or I was brushing my teeth. You know, I rehearsed the lines, and the day I was told to come through, I like, oh yeah, do this. I absolutely killed it. And I was telling myself, now you really do this one. Yeah. You know, for me, it was hard work and then and practice. So for you, when you have an event, say the next day, a very big event, Mike Adenigo has called you and want Wale to come through and do this. How do you prepare for a high profile event? Walk us through.
Okay. For starters, I first of all have to speak with the event planner. I need to understand the kind of program they are having. So we walk through the team. I usually draft the program flow. That helps me. So I encourage every event, MC, whatever, to have a program flow. So that is more like the foundation, or like I think I should use the word foundation. It's not like you're not going to have something shifting out of that flow, but it gives you like a timeline, you know, what you can work with. So, and then always prepare for contingencies. I've been someone that very good at improvising. So those are the things that you must always put. But if you have a program flow, so it helps a lot. So that's what I do. I think a day or two, sit down, even my jokes, because I'm not a stand-up. Everybody knows I'm not a stand-up, but I still get people to laugh. So I have to make sure I go through the jokes and make sure those jokes are jokes that has to do with that kind of crowd. So it's not every joke you can tell at every event. And I think it's also important to mention here that one of my selling points is the fact that my jokes are more of like IQ, maybe because of my background, philosophy and all that. So I always make sure I just infuse something that will get the audience to, like, let me give you an instance now. Like, I can ask you, what does a house wear? I'm wondering, how's the wear clothes? What's going on? So I'll be like, yeah, house wears a dress. That's why they call it an address. Something like that.
Oh, that's high Q.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you just have to have a program flow. So let me not digress. You need to have a program flow that guides you. That's what has helped me so far. Program flow.
Now, depending on how good a program has gone or an event has gone, referrals come through.
Yeah.
When it comes to referrals, how do you deal with that? How do you tell loyalty from where you're performing to the fact that someone has met you and said, you know how you did this thing? For example, you did an event for 800K.
Okay.
Or 1 million. And the person who got your number or contact from that person says, I've seen what you can do. You know, you've done excellently well. It happens to MCs a lot, you know, and they say, but we have 500K and they still want the same value for her. How do you deal with that?
I will answer that, but what happens to me more is when I surcharge. Like, for instance, if I do a show for 1 million and maybe because I know you, for instance, now,
Yeah.
I won't do $1 million for you because we're friends.
Yes.
You can say, Wale, na 500 I get to. Wale, 800. You get something like that. So, not you now. Some clients go and tell the people they want to refer me to, they paid 800. Instead of telling them I charge 1 million. Do you see the difference now?
Yeah.
So I have that as a problem a lot. And I feel it's not my place to tell you. I feel you're supposed to know. If I'm doing this show for you for 500 or 800, it doesn't mean that's what I charge. I'm just doing it because of our relationship. So then for your question, it's really, it's difficult. It's difficult. I have an event in, Ikoyi next week, and, something similar happened. And, the lady was she was practically begging. So I just had to take the job. She was begging. Because, I did the show for one event planner. So it was our event. So she didn't send the event planner to reach out to me. She reached out to me by herself when she wants to do our husband's event. Now she did her own birthday. Now she wants to do our husband's birthday. So, but she contracted an event planner to contract me then. So now she wants to do by herself. So she believes maybe it's because I was expensive because I came from the event planner. So she felt maybe if she come directly to me, I would be a bit cheaper or something like that. So I was like, what's I go do now like this? So I took the job. Well, it wasn't that much of a difference what she was begging for. So yeah, I took it. That's a good job. I just had to take the job.
Now, in terms of difficulty, we're going to talk as entertainers rather. We don't get to talk about this a lot.
Okay.
And which is the challenges we face in the day-to-day business of being public figures. Now, aside that, I was somewhere the other day and I wore these very funny shorts and a t-shirt. I'm a t-shirt guy. And I went to Jendol to go buy groceries and someone was looking at me. The man kept looking at me like this. And I got what I wanted, came down, he was still, and I went to him and I was like, you know me, right? You've seen me before. Where do you think you've seen me? And he was just, said, maybe on TV, right? I was like, yeah! We always see you. You're always so flamboyant. You're always so this.
What are you wearing?
And I got, no, I came in to just chill and, but that's exactly what it was. And sometimes it's over the edge. Now, let's talk about challenges we face in entertainment. For some people, it's the darnest thing and it's over the moon. I've had challenges from, having to perform and the mic just stops working and then you have to improvise and do this, do that.
Definitely.
Or they don't give you the right flow chart for the event. Now, they keep adding things. So that brings back the contingency, whatever we talked about the other time. And then you have to infuse this, put that, and all that. Now, as entertainers, it can be really cumbersome and it can cause a lacuna if someone doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So for someone like you who's been doing this for close to a decade, how do you handle and manage challenges in the line of work that you do?
Well, I think the most difficult one is when the mic doesn't work. I think that's the most difficult one. Every other one, you can always use the DJ or the band. It helps you to just take cue while you go sort yourself out. There's one I had, the celebrant said she wasn't going to dance. No jokes. I think I sent you the video. She said she wasn't going to dance. I'm like, madam, why are you not going to dance? That's why we are here. That's what we want to come and see. We want to see you dance. So I just had to call the band. Amazing band. I can't remember their name now. I had to call them to just step in for me while I go liaise with her and understand what's going on. She said, she's trying this. I said, madam, we are here for you. I had to just be more like what's it called now? Like a therapist now and calm her down and encourage her and then she came back to dance. And so sometimes you just have to look within, to be honest. Just have to look within and think on your feet. It's very, very important that you think on your feet. So at the end of the day, you would always have that because you've had experience confidence is very key. When you're confident, you can do anything. So yeah, that's the major thing.
All right. When it comes to entertainment and being an MC or an event compare or a toastmaster, versatility takes major point. Also, the ability to walk through everything you come in contact with. Now, also, we're schooling you here, so we'll tell you on the show things that you've learned. You will unlearn them, and then you relearn. That's what Whatzup is all about. We don't just give you entertainment and make you guys understand that, okay, this is what it is. No, 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 no. We make sure that we do the most to make you understand and communicate properly. Now, before we go on a quick break, I want to ask you a question. That's a personal question. Family, you're a married man, got kids. How does it feel sometimes when you're away from the home? How do you manage or balance work and home front?
It's good that you would ask this. It's a struggle. It really is a struggle, and I'm planning a tour very soon, and I don't know how that's going to pan out. I think a month-long tour. I'm not going to be at home, and my wife is going to be on my neck, but one has to do what one has to do. So that's the truth of the matter. But I always stay in touch. I thank God for it's not in the olden days when we don't have phones, when we don't have the internet and all that. I am always online and we can always do video call. And the most important thing, if you're a celebrity and you are in people's face all the time, you need to make sure you don't let your partner feel like they are not a priority in your life. So there's a tendency of, because you're focused in your business and trying to make sure you satisfy your audience and fan base, or even your clients, you neglect your people. It's not intentional. That's not what you're trying to do, but they just feel like, so you have to do more. Every little time you have to make sure you do extra. So when you're not there, that extra will actually cover for it. And talking about that, shout out to my wife. Our birthday is on the 10th, and we're planning something. I don't know if she's watching this. I just let that out of the bag. So yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you so much for that one. We're going to go on a very quick break. We have Wale in the studio, Celebrity Events Compare, telling you about his journey, his lifestyle, work ethics, and this is a way to encourage a whole lot of you who are planning to delve into this line of work. We'll go on this quick break to watch and listen to something from the man, hopefully. Then we'll be right back. What's up, Gata Television, a show that runs Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. when it's fun, excitement, adventure, entertainment, information. This is the place to be. You know who I am. They call me Orali. That's AURALWE, aka the Sugar Daddy of Lagos, aka the Big Size Teddy Bear, aka Vitamin A, aka the Vibes Machine, aka big things you will like. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I did do introductions at the beginning of the show, but we'll save the best for later. You know how they say. Now, we do have Wale Sage in the building. He is a Celebrity Events Compare. He's been doing so much when it comes to business, music, sports, entertainment, and eventing. There's a whole lot of things that you have to say to that, but this is who we are. And we're just getting to know him. His fans are like, yo, you know what? Let's do this. Now, back to asking questions. He says in your biography that you blend philosophy and entertainment, which is no mean feat. What's one deep quote that always hits, even when the crowd just wants vibes?
Okay, how do I land this? I always tell people that the term philosophy is not really something. Yeah, it's sophisticated, yes, but it can be broken down to the barest minimum. Everything an hype man does in the club, when they say civil servants, popping up for civil servants, all those kind of stuff. Those are actually punchlines, and punchline is a genre in philosophy. Okay, so I can go something like platinum, not regular. So those are the kind of when I say philosophy, that's what I mean actually, by the way. So I can go like the one I just said, and then I can do something like flows choke, like like a color to your jugular, something like that. All those kind of punchlines, like poetry. So yeah, I do that a lot, and the crowd will go, wow. So that's one of the things that I do as an MC during the vibes, during the thick of it, and people will like, it's in the sub. So when I do hype, that's the philosophy that I'm talking about. Okay, so my kind of hype is not just mere words, People might just look at them like, it's an everyday thing. But when you look at it deeply, you see that for these guys that sounds a little bit local in the clubs and they go with broken, listen to what they are saying. It's deep. It's not just to look at it on the surface. I'm trying to think of one now. Okay, like, Odogunobi guy name. You have to be very creative to another person will be like, what do you mean by that? But then if you think about it deeply, you understand that all these things are more deeper than what maybe just to hype, basically. Yeah.
All right. Now, this is a particular sport that touches me. Some people in this world were born to never laugh or smile. They are born sadists. And it is terrible because we MCs know that to pull crowd, see, I was at a comedy show yesterday and I'm sorry, only 2 people were funny. I know I laugh a lot. I can laugh for no reason. So for me to tell you only 2 people were funny, Igwe Henry, I'm sure a lot of you know him. Yeah. The 3 comedians used to have a show on Galaxy TV. Igwe Henry, I couldn't wait for Emoji at Boss's time to perform because I was tired and I have work this morning. But only Igwe Henry and Dikin Kamo were funny. The rest of all of you. Last month, let me not say too much. But yes, how do you, you're not a stand-up, but how do you read your crowd? What are the techniques that you use in reading your crowd to know what to say or what not to say, what to do, what not to do?
I love this question. It took me a while to realize that there's a difference between stand-up comedy and hosting events. So that's what experience does to you. I mean, it's been, if I'm being honest, it's actually over 10 years, but I'm just making it official 8 years, What I do these days is I make the joke interactive. This is expo I'm giving to MCs out there. When your joke is, when you're not a stand-up, when you're hosting events, you're not a stand-up. So you're not allowed to start cracking jokes that has to do with long storytelling. You bore people out when you do that. What you do is you make sure okay, you can start this way. Do we have any Christians here? If you want to tell a joke that is Christian, you already engage them. You start with the questions. You say, oh, you're a Christian. Which one do you go to? Stuff like that. You start from there. You make the joke interactive. That's the way. Even if it's not funny, as long as you've been able to engage someone, you're good to go. So that's a trick. That's the easy trick. Make sure the joke is interactive. Don't just come there and start talking. One person died, cow fly, all those kind of stuff. You're going to bore people out. No matter how funny the joke is, it's good for stand-up. There's room for that. That's the audience. They are waiting. They want to get, there should be a plot. They are ready for, twist in the story and all that. But in events, they're not, that patience is not there. So you just have to make sure it is more of a conversational joke where you can actually interact with the audience.
When it comes to MCing, who's that one MC, or personality that you would love to host an event with? That's number one. Number two, what's that event that you haven't hosted that you wish you could host or you would host?
Wow, there's a lot of events. So I'm going to start with the first one. Like I said, there's a lot of them I would like to MC with. But I'll just go with Ebuka or Ike. Those are
Ike Sakadoa.
Yes, so either Ebuka or Ike. I really love those guys. I really look forward to them. And of course, I've done with TA, but I really want to do something more with TA. We are talking on it. Let's see how that goes as well.
And then
the second question again.
Second question is, what type of event would you wish to host that you've not already hosted?
Like I said, there's a lot of them. I don't mind doing Big Brother. I like to do Big Brother. I like to do concerts, award shows. I've done some award shows, but not the big ones. Like something like with the MTV base, something in that space. Yeah, I really love to do that.
All right. That's a very beautiful and nice one. So, when Wale gets on stage and does his things afterwards, do you entertain any form of criticisms? As public figures, as entertainers, sometimes it really is not easy to get on that stage and do what we do.
Yeah,
But for some people, they have their own talk and it feels like everybody has something to say.
yeah.
So we as entertainers have a way we adjust, we maneuver, we move through certain things. A whole lot of people cannot handle criticism because they feel like people are just trying to tear them down.
Yeah. So what I do is majorly I reach out to the big names in the events. I make sure I get even if they're vendors. I'm gonna mention one name out there now. Bonix International. My mommy, wonderful woman. There was this time I think the first time we met, but I've heard about her before that event. So she was actually friends to the celebrant. So that's how we became close because the celebrant introduced me to her. So after the event, I was going around on my WhatsApp because I already collected all their numbers now. I was going on my WhatsApp asking them questions like, how did I do? How was the event? So I was the one seeking out criticism now. So either negative or we're going to learn from it. That's the most important thing. You don't dwell on it. You learn from it. So there was something she said. At the time I did it, I didn't think anything of it. So we learn every day. So there was something she said. She said there was a particular joke I cracked that didn't really sit well with her. And she understands that with our kind of person, she has 1,000 other people that are like her that wouldn't have loved that joke. Of course, no one would come and tell me. They would just sit on the chairs and have that at the back of their head. I think I should mention it here just to encourage other MCs out there so they won't make such mistakes. So there was this word I used. The guests were all over the place in the hall, and I blotted out that jokingly in my in my head that I think it was in Yoruba. I said I can't remember the exact word, but it wasn't a nice word. But I thought I was being funny, so it wasn't a nice word. So I learned that not everything you can say, especially when you have high profile clients.
Yeah.
You need to be very careful of the kind of jokes you tell because these people are very serious minded people. Yes, they like to laugh, but you must make sure your jokes are respectful. I think that's the term I'm looking for here. So I learned that day to be more respectful when I crack my jokes. So it's very, very important.
All right, as we round up this part of the show, we need you to give your fans words of motivation and encouragement and people who are looking forward to being in an event that you've hosted or you're hosting, or are people just at home by their TV sets asking themselves, is it possible to go into this event scene to be an MC? What words of motivation and assurances are you going to say to these people?
I'll say it's very, very possible. I'll say that just believe in yourself and try to live. A lot of people would, how will I say, exist but not live. This life is meant for the living. Try to live it. While you're still struggling, trying to get on your feet, while you're still trying to get on your feet, you make sure you enjoy the journey. You're not going to get there overnight. If you follow the program from the beginning, I mentioned where I had my own struggles when I almost gave up as well. You're not going to get there overnight. It's important to always just have to bring yourself back up and enjoy it. Enjoy it. And everything is a lesson. Whatever mistake you make, whatever thing that life throws to you is something to learn from. That's what I do. I take whatever I get from life and even put it in my performance. It's very, very important that you enjoy every moment. So that's what I have to say.
All right, thank you so much. Give us your social media handles quickly so we can follow you. And if there's a YouTube page or anywhere where we can stream any of your work or materials, please give them now.
Yeah, at Wale Sage on all social platforms. At Wale Sage.
On all social media platforms.
That's WALESAGE at Wale Sage. Together, no space.
All right, thank you so much, Wale, for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
You've given us insights as to how to act, behave, be coordinated. You're giving orientation to people who probably lack it and seek it. Now, there's a difference between not knowing and then wanting to learn, and then people who just don't know it because they will never learn. That's something you guys need to work on as well. So, on behalf of Whatzup on Galaxy Television, I want to say thank you for coming through. This has been an eye opener. It felt like we're at an event and you just had to go through and tell us and talk us through a whole lot of stuff. Some of you, when you want to have an event, when you want to be an MC of an event, when you host rather an event, you don't take cognizance about the crowd, the space, the people there, what area of background they are from. Yeah. Know your audience. That's something you should know. But all of you just come and open your mouth, wow, and start cracking jokes that are not funny. Mm-hmm. No. Sometimes I'm tempted to say some things, but I know I will go viral. So, so I just run away from that. Thank you so much again for coming through. We're going to go on this quick break. When we come back, it will be time for Celebrity. Just don't go anywhere.